Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, October 4th, and I'd like to welcome you to a meeting of the Concord School Board of Trustees. This is a meeting of the school board in public for the purpose of conducting the school corporation's business and is not considered a public community meeting. There will be time for public participation about agenda items as indicated on the agenda. If you would like to address the board, please fill out a yellow card and get that to Mrs. Warren as soon as possible before you speak. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. And thank you for joining us on this beautiful evening. We're very fortunate to have the sun shining. And so again, welcome. You're welcome to all of our board meetings. And with that, we will start a pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This evening, we are going to start with good things, and so tonight's good things come from the junior high. Mrs. Warren.
All right. Well, thank you, first and foremost, for having us. I know our students are excited, but probably a little nervous to be here. They're going to be highlighting things that we are doing with Project Lead the Way, which you guys, we feel so thankful and blessed that you were willing to, invest in that. I think our students are enjoying a different level of engagement with some of these courses, and they're just excited to talk to you about them. So in a minute, we're going to start with Ms. Higley, and she's going to talk about medical detectives, and her student as well, Matthew, is going to talk about that. And then Ms. Reddy is going to talk to you about design, and we have Brady and Jackson that will be sharing more about that, okay? So without further ado, you don't want to see me, we'll bring Ms. Higley up.
Hi, I'm Jen Higley. I get to teach the Medical Detectives Project Lead the Way class, and it's my first year with that, and it's the first one in the district. I get so excited about it, and the kids have been so excited. Not everybody, but to be honest, that's okay. We just want them to have the experience with this because it's a pathway when they get to the high school. So we're allowing everybody to have this experience with this medical pathway. And I asked Matthew to come join us today because his enthusiasm is so exciting, and it really does. He sees me in the hallway in the morning, and he says hello to me, and he comes to me and he says, "You know what, Mrs. Higley? Maybe I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm doing really well in this class." And so, great. It's just super exciting. So, without further ado, he's gonna tell you a little bit about his experience here.
Hello, I'm Matthew Siebel. I'm here to talk about medical detectives. Medical detectives is a good hands-on approach to learn about medical science. We want to have medical detectives or doctors to diagnose and treat patients with diseases, and how different parts of your brain work. My favorite activity was the project we did on nerves. We did a model up there on the screen of a signal passing through a nerve going from the dendrite to the cell body, through the axon, and out the synapses. During this activity, I already said all that. Recently, we did a dissection of a sheep brain. We had to identify different parts of the brain. We eventually cut the brain in half so that we could identify different parts inside the brain. And and then we also use a website called the LTW Project Lead the Way to do most of our investigations. And recently, just today, we started on a new project where we have to diagnose a patient with a problem in their nervous system. You have to look at the patient's case file and decide if the problem is in the brain or the nerves. We might get to dissect another sheep brain if my patient has a tumor. And I want to thank Mrs. Higley for choosing me to do the presentation today. And that is all I have to say today. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Good evening, thank you so much for having us. My name is Miss Reddy. This is Brady and Jackson. They are in my pre-engineering course, so my course is a semester. Jen's is just a quarter, so they're stuck with me for a little bit longer. But they're gonna talk a little bit about like three things that we've been focusing on this year. The first project that we did right at the beginning of the year was called the AFO, it stands for ankle foot orthosis, and students were tasked with creating an ankle foot orthosis for a child between the ages of 9 and 12, and they had to meet the following requirements, and they were told that the child that they were making it for has cerebral palsy, and so the goal was for them to use just like basic materials that we had in our class to make a prototype. Basically, if you've ever seen somebody who like sprains their ankle and they have like a boot on, it's kind of like that. That's an AFO. So that was what they were making. So they're going to review a couple of their requirements before we move on.
Stay attached to the patient's foot and lower leg about toward your vascular soft roots. It allows upward movement of the ankle where the foot or toes move in an upward direction toward the shin or foot or leg.
Oh, it also had to place the foot flat on the ground, so it wouldn't like raising. And it prevents the patient from bending or rising onto their toes.
Awesome. And then the last three requirements they asked me, it needed to support their foot and ankle, including the heel and the arch of the foot. It has to be comfortable and removable. All right. So here are some examples, if you look at the screen, of the AFOs that they were able to create. They did a really nice job. Meeting all those requirements was shocking. The next unit that we were in was all about isometric sketching. So my class is called pre-engineering, and so this is like very kind of basic engineering concepts put into fun projects. And so they just got done with their dreaded sketching quiz. I offer one quiz in the whole semester, and everybody gets a little bit wigged out about it, but they did a great job. And so they learned how to use special isometric graphing paper to draw three-dimensional objects. And they used also these linking cubes to build the object before they were able to draw it. So here are some student examples of their multi-use sketches, all smiles after they did good on their quiz. And then today we actually started our next project, which is all about creating a skimmer, which is sort of, I call it a glorified paper airplane that flies on the floor rather than flies through the air. And that's what, again, they started working on today. And it is all about using a ruler and being very precise to within the eighth of an inch. And so this is their goal. That's what it'll look like at the end. And here's some pictures of them working hard together. Thank you, guys.
Wonderful, thank you.
Can we have you guys stand back up at the podium really quick? The kids.
What'd you do?
So you just left before the board had a chance to ask any questions. So I want to make sure you had a chance to ask any questions.
I don't have any questions, but I think that's really cool. I didn't get to do anything with brain until my freshman year in college. So you are way ahead of the game, and I'm very excited for you.
What kind of doctor do you think you want to be?
So it's a really dumb question. Do you have this class every day, Monday through Friday? Okay, so you're with, okay.
So are you hoping you get to dissect the brain again, or if it's already
Doing
hoping
it.
for?
I would like to dissect the sheep brain every day.
That's awesome.
Watch out for
How about you two? What's been your favorite part of engineering class? Even the quiz?
In your dissection, do you have a partner that you do that with, or did you do it by yourself?
We had groups assigned for it, so on Canvas, which is the that we use, we would go on the groups and it would show us the three people, two people that you're with. So in my group, I had, I think, children, and the other one does not like sheep brains. You know, I had a whole gang of group like just me, Jordan, and our pretty sure the farthest, like the record is 68. 68.
Okay.
So your goal is
When-
70.
When are you gonna do that, so we come watch?
Just give them a start.
Send us an invite, okay?
That's amazing. What happens, so you are a quarter, year and a half, correct? Is that what I heard for your classes? What happens for you guys the next, is there and could that elective be anything? Like, could you guys now go to do sheep brain, or is that something you would be interested in? You know, maybe not so much.
Well, they're actually, so all seventh grade is taking an exploratory rotation this year. And so that's what Matthew is talking about. And so they get a 9-week section of medical detectives, a 9-week section of facts or family and consumer science, a 9-week section of business information technology, and then a 9-week section of performing arts. So we're trying to give seventh grade an opportunity to kind of sample, right? This is like your hors d'oeuvre section before they make a selection as eighth graders as to what they might be most interested in as they kind of move them into their high school years and maybe are closer to selecting that career path.
Wonderful. You did a great job. Thank you. Thank you. Good luck. You are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but you can also, we can take a pause and you can be excused and go with your family. And labor freeze is open, I believe. School night. Salad. Good night. Thank you guys. Great job.
It goes fast. Did you
I'm trying to remember if I did fetal things in high school.
We did them in Grace College. Mine was on Bethel. Sorry.
Carla, do we have any yellow cards? Okay, that brings us to the consent agenda, which this evening includes minutes from 9/19/22, board workshop minutes from 9/19/22, budget workshop minutes from 9/19/22, accounts payable claims, payroll claims and distribution summary report, human resource report, and conference request.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, I'm totally thrown off, I was waiting for Tim. I have a motion
down here and I took it.
I have a motion by Mrs. Towner, a second by Mr. Sponseller. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next item on the agenda is an enrollment update. Ms. Spear.
Board, I'm here this evening to share with you an update on our ADM, our average daily membership. Sometimes we call that the bus and seats count. It's really fun. I want to let you know our September ADM count is 5,347. So we're really excited about this. It's 106 more students compared to the spring, and 123 more students from this time last year. So we're really pleased to see those numbers, families choosing Concord to send their students. I'll share with you just 2 bits of information, and then I shared some other information in your board packet. But the kindergarten enrollment this year is 391, which is up 18 kids, but it's the largest kindergarten class that we've had since 2015, and that class was 392. So only one student shy of our largest class of kindergartners. It's really great news. We love it when they start early with us. It helps build out their educational foundation. I'll also share with you the senior class has 403 students enrolled, so that's up from last year, but it's still shy of that record-setting 432 we had in 2018. So big class this year, but not quite record-breaking. And then just in terms of our cohort data, the students moving from one grade level to the next, we had growth in 10 of our grades this year. So compared to a year ago, I think we had 9. So excited about that as well. And then I'll switch gears just a little bit on you to our cash transfers. This is a number we were watching closely, as you might recall, because of the growing enrollment in some of our class sizes, we limited our transfer enrollments this year. to just accepting those in kindergarten, grade 1, grade 5, and grade 7. So it's a little early to see how this is going to play out with our trend data, but having those in place, we really feel is going to put us in a good position when we're making decisions about staffing and even just student supports. So on average, about 14% of our student population is cash transfers. This fall, we have 787, and that's 15% of our small population. Answer any questions if you have them.
I assume students are still coming and registering, and that never stops.
Year round.
Okay,
There's at least one in here today.
okay. Hopefully they're not going, they're coming.
Julie's been doing a great job getting a grasp of who's coming in, who's coming out, working with the data secretaries to make sure we're able to provide you guys with accurate information. So on top of everything else she does, I want to make sure we thank her for that.
Exciting, thank you, ma'am. That brings us to item 5.1, public hearing for our 2023 budget. Mr. Evans.
Thank you, Mrs. Wade. We are taking the next step in the budget adoption process. As we discussed at our last board meeting, the first step was budget workshop, share the information with the board. That information has been posted on our website and posted also on the Gateway, which is the public website where budgets and similar items are posted. And so tonight we will have three different hearings. The first hearing will be on the budget itself, what we call Form 3 that we advertise, which is the appropriations and the levies for the different funds, the 4 different funds that we will ask for permission to spend from. And just as a quick reminder, there are 4 funds that we request appropriations for: referendum, education, debt service, and operations. But only 2 funds are funds that we advertise for and receive a levy, a property tax levy, and those would be the debt service fund and the operations fund. And those amounts have been given to the board 2 weeks ago. Again, have been posted both on our website and on the Gateway. So, unless there's any other questions, I would go back to you, Mrs. Wade, for hearing.
We will open for our public hearing. I will remind everybody that our normal rules apply. You get 3 minutes. Mrs. Warren will time you, and all of our other niceties apply to your comments that you would have regarding our any of our hearings that we're holding tonight. So I will open it up for any public comment.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
So is there a place where I could see income stream, expense, and leftover without too many forms, too many details? Maybe that's just a layman's question, so if it doesn't work, it's okay.
Well, we can talk afterwards. I can
Okay.
give you some options.
Okay.
Like that information.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments from our public this evening? Hearing none, I will close the public hearing for the 2023 budgets and let Mr. Evans speak on 5.2, capital projects.
Thank you again, Mrs. Wade. Again, the this hearing is for the capital projects plan, and was presented to the board 2 weeks ago, and been posted on our website and posted on the Gateway for the since September 20th. So again, I will turn it back over to you for the hearing.
Okay, very good, thank you. I will open this up for public comment. Again, same rules apply. Not hearing any public comment, I will close the public comments for capital projects plan. And now, Mr. Evans, you can speak to us about our bus replacement plan.
Thank you again, Mrs. Wade. And the bus replacement plan basically the same story, kind of third verse, except for the bus replacement plan as opposed to budgets and projects. Bus replacement plan basically is the state request of basically a 5-year replacement plan for the buses. That doesn't mean the buses only last 5 years. Typically buses, we keep buses for 10, 12, 15 years, but we put together a bus replacement plan for the next 5 years for the buses that we would anticipate trading in and then purchasing. So I would turn that over to the bus replacement plan.
Thank you. I will open this up for public comment on our bus replacement plan project, and again, same rules apply. Hearing no comment from the public on our bus replacement plan, I will close that public hearing. Thank you, Mr. Evans.
This is what.
And now you are still up here for us with a bond resolution, please.
Switch gears.
Sorry.
So again, at our last meeting, the board approved a preliminary bond resolution for the general obligation bond that we anticipate selling in 10 weeks. There'll be an additional appropriation hearing scheduled for 2 weeks from tonight. Well, not 2 weeks from now. At our next board meeting, which will be the 17th. But for this evening, we would ask the board to consider the final bond resolution. And what this bond resolution is the basically it establishes the amount that we're going to be borrowing, which is $3.25 million. The maximum total repayment, which in our case would be 1 year, and then a maximum interest rate. Obviously, we don't know what the interest rate is at this point, so we establish a not to exceed interest rate. We can send to our resolution. Now, there's a couple other pieces that go along with that bond resolution. And we always have to do adopt a resolution saying that with the Securities and Exchange Commission, certain information about the school operations will be submitted on a regular basis. And so that's part of this resolution, along with some fancy words, registrar and paying agent agreement. So, if there are any questions, I'll be able to try to answer those. Otherwise, I would recommend approval of the final bond resolution.
Motion to approve the final bond resolution.
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. Davis, a second by Mr. Yoder. Any comments or questions for Mr. Evans? I just want to thank you for, I know this is a lot and it's at the time with budgets, and I know you and your staff are working tirelessly. So I want to thank you very much for all of your hard work and helping us continue to understand this at our level of understanding. So I appreciate that. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Thank you, Mr. Evans. Is there any sharing from the board this evening?
I just want to say thank you to Tyler Stevens for the extra work that he did. Like being a long snapper, nobody really gets too excited when the ball comes back or says anything, but when it goes over the head, everybody's screaming and yelling. So I just thank you to Tyler Stevens for the extra work that he did. 1:31.
We had a wonderful opportunity this weekend to spend some time, the board and Mr. Funston went to the Indiana State Board conference that they hold for continuing education for board members. It's very valuable, and we learned a lot of really interesting things, some heavy, some light, and I just am thankful for that opportunity, and I'm thankful for all of you, and we've done some amazing things together, so I'm thankful for that.
And we won the Spirit.
We did!
Yeah,
We won the Spirit Award.
Makes Mr. Yoder's pride.
Yeah.
We look good walking in with football jerseys on. A little bit of fog and.
Is there anyone else? Any sharing? Superintendent?
Yeah, so I have a couple things I'd like to share with you. One, if you haven't had a chance, our very own Brian Golden was published in the Indiana Music Education Association. And Brian was talking about the importance of a pep band and how he has approached our pep band, and just reminded me how lucky we are to have him doing that. And it's the most amazing pep band I've seen. I've coached and been around basketball my entire life, and Concord by far has the best pep band around. So wanted to thank him for that as well. Also, Robin Jacobiak is retiring, so I wasn't sure if you saw the invite there, but October 10th, 3:30 will be an open house for Robin. Kudos to Westside. Last week, Concord Westside received a $2,000 mini grant from the Elkhart County Child Dashboard for their project to create a clothes closet to benefit their students. Westside School Counselor Kayla Klinker, social worker Marlette Gomez wrote the grant with support from the principal. And so just excited for that. There's a lot of little things like that where people are writing grants to get more resources to help our kids. And a coat closet is something when you think about what schools do in educating our kids, our teachers and our staff go way beyond that to help and service our students. So I want to thank them for that. Then lastly, to your point, so we did have an internet outage last week for 2 days that impacted some operations. I think we've communicated that 2 firewalls went down, both the primary and the secondary firewall, which was a very unique situation. But on top of Tyler, just want to give some kudos to our network engineers, which is Dwayne and Paul. Dwayne and Paul were here working tirelessly to get that hooked up and ready to go. So kudos to those 2 guys as well. That's it.
Very good. Thank you so much. Will you go over upcoming board meeting schedule?
Yep. So we have October 17th, we have an executive session at 5 o'clock here at the Ed Center. Our regular meeting will start at 6, and then back to November 7th after that. So 2 weeks, well, almost 2 weeks from now, 2 meetings. So.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you again for everybody in attendance, and meeting adjourned at 6:28 p.m.